Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to talk about the Detroit Lions beating the Chicago Bears, 23-20 reaction. Matt Eberflus. What the hell is Matt Eberflus doing? Like, I get Caleb Williams, he snapped the ball at 7 seconds instead of 15. And you should know how basic football works with time, but look, again, I'm not arguing about Caleb Williams. I'm not arguing. Because, yes, no awareness there. You shouldn't take a sack there. Or you should snap the ball quicker. I get that. I'm not arguing that. But it's also on the head coach to realize what is going on at that time of the game. The fact they ended the game with the timeout says everything. Eberflus should have called the timeout the second the clock got under 10 seconds at the latest. Or he should have called that timeout immediately. You have a timeout. The coach is in charge. You have a timeout. The offensive coordinator is obviously calling a play, which wasn't a spike. That's on the staff as well. And I'm not arguing that he should have snapped the ball sooner. Yes, but his time up should be done. His time should be up in Chicago. What does he have to do to be fired? That was just a terrible drive. The offensive line sucks. Matt Eberflus is retarded. Is the man retarded? I swear. Matt Eberflus, he had a timeout, decided not to use it, and they're in field goal range. And I get the quarterback, yes, you gotta know how much time's left. Both things can be true. I'm not arguing either side. But ultimately, the head coach has to know he has a timeout there, and use it when he can clearly see the clock winding down. Bad coaching and bad awareness from Caleb Williams as well. Two things can be true. And he was telling his teammates to come down and hurry up. Both can be true. There was no sense of urgency. That's kind of just my opinion on it. If you see the clock winding down, if you're Matt Eberflus, call the timeout. He should be fired tonight on the spot. And he got sacked, 32 seconds left. The next snap came with like 8 seconds. Just boneheaded. Like, Matt Eberflus is just a terrible football coach. With his coaching, he has lost his team 3 full games. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Dumbest play of the year. And just such a cluster of an ending. Caleb takes the sack, clocks at 25 seconds. He decides to wait to snap and just throws the ball away. That's going to be one of the worst finishes in the NFL this year. Like, I can't believe they just didn't take a timeout. Like, I don't get what they're doing. During this 6-game losing streak, they've had so many winnable games. That's what's more frustrating if you're a Bears fan. A game-winning Hail Mary against Washington. Green Bay, a blocked field goal. Scored 9 points against the Cardinals, scored 3 against the Patriots, a late comeback versus the Vikings to force overtime where they got the ball first, but then they still lost the game. And they let the clock run out despite having a timeout today. Brutal. I couldn't imagine being a Bears fan losing all these close games. I just don't get how you don't call a timeout there. Caleb had an amazing second half before that. Like, maybe you don't want to burn that time out, but you see the clock running down, Call a timeout there. Like, their coach is so bad, man. That is the worst clock management I've ever seen. And my head coach is Mike McCarthy. The Bears are just a disaster. And yes, both can be true. Poor from Caleb Williams to take a sack there, and kind of just wasn't in a rush there, or just showed urgency. But once again, you're the head coach. Call the timeout. And Caleb Williams didn't play great in the first half. He played better in the second half. First half, he was bad. Their defense saved him in the first half, at least, to hold Detroit to field goals and forced a fumble. He went 20 of 39, 256 passing, 39 rushing, 3 passing touchdowns, a 97 passer rating. Just a wild ending. Like, clock management just... What are you saving the timeout for, Matt Eberflus? And also, I don't know why they waited so long to snap the fucking ball. They were set at 10 seconds and snapped the ball at 5. I don't know why it took them like 20 seconds to get set. But just call your timeout. If QB's unaware, just call the timeout. And people were like, people thought they were set. They weren't set. The receivers were just jockeying around the line trying to figure out who was on the freaking line. Just call a timeout. That's just Bears football. I figured they were going to kick a field goal and miss it. They didn't even get a field goal. What are you saving your timeout for? I don't know. I don't know what the Bears... They're just a mess. If Matt Eberflus isn't fired, I don't know what it... If Matt Eberflus isn't fired after this, I don't know what it will take. That is one of the worst end-of-game sequences I've ever seen. And I watched my quarterback, or I watched my coach, or my offensive coordinator, when it was Kellen Moore, call a QB draw with 14 seconds left in the playoff game. This Matt Eberflus to not even get a field goal attempt there is just bad. But yeah, enough talking about the Bears. Give some credit to the Detroit Lions, now 11-1 on the season for Detroit with their 23-20 win here. They got outplayed in the second half. Got outscored 20-7. They were much better offensively in the first half. Second half wasn't great offensively. But hey, wins a win at the end of the day. They almost sold the game getting that pass interference on 4th and 14. But luckily they were able to survive due to the Bears, the coaching. But the Lions improved to 11-1 here. Jared Goff 21-34, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jared Goff. So his first win on Thanksgiving, I think. So another good game from Jared Goff. He's having a really good season, man. David Montgomery, 21 runs, 88 yards for Montgomery. So solid game from David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 runs, 87 yards, 9.7 yards per carry for Jahmyr Gibbs. And he also had 2 catches, 17 yards. Jameson Williams had 2 catches, 18 yards. They try to have Penei Sewell throw a pass. Amon-Ra. 5 catches, 73 yards. Tim Patrick, 2 catches, 48 yards. Jameson Williams, 5 catches, 20 yards. And Montgomery, 3 catches 36 yards. Brock Wright, 1 catch, 13 yards. And Laporta, 3 catches, 6 yards, but had 2 touchdowns. Did Sam Laporta. How many field goals did he make? 3 of 4 from Jake Bates. He missed one of them. Somehow he missed a field goal. Yeah, decent game from the Detroit Lions. I thought their offense was really good in the first half. Second half wasn't great. I mean, they scored that 1 touchdown. Other than that, the Bears' defense played much better than it did in the first half. But the Bears dropped to 4-8, and they, man, just some of these games that they've lost have just been so winnable. The Hail Mary, blocked field goal. And at least this one, you would have at least had a chance. Kick a field goal if you miss it, oh wait. Caleb, 20 of 39, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 4 runs for 39 yards from Caleb Williams. I don't know, it's like the Bears, did they think it was the end of the first half or something? Like, did Eberflus not know he had a timeout? And then Caleb Williams also missed a throw late in the fourth quarter on their last drive. He missed a short throw to DJ Moore. If he hits Moore, he's wide open. They get a touchdown to win the game. It's just bad execution down the stretch by the Bears. Bad throw there, and then not calling the timeout. But Caleb Williams was the only reason they were in the game. Like, that's the only reason they were in the game at the end was because Caleb Williams showed up in the second half. They couldn't run the ball. Swift, 11 runs, 39 yards. He couldn't run the ball. I mean, I want him to do well, but he ain't nothing to do with this team. Their offensive line's garbage. DJ Moore, 8 catches, 97 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 5 catches, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Swift, 2 catches, 35 yards. Komet, 3 catches, 26 yards. Odunze, 2 catches, 25 yards. Dexter Sr. had a sack. They got one, about 2-3 sacks on Jared Goff. Torrey Taylor's been punting a lot this year. Remember when it was said he won't be punting a lot this year. But the Bears dropped to 4-8. Lions are 11-1, 23-20 the final. Detroit was at 16-0 at halftime. The Bears made a late rally in the second half. They had a chance to tie it up or win it. And then didn't end up happening. My Bears fans have to be frustrated right now. Look, and you can blame Caleb Williams because that's the popular thing to do when the Bears lose. Look, I know he took the sack there. I get it. But if you're the coach, you still have that timeout. You have to call it. That is the dumbest play of the season. And then you have Matt Eberflus. You have him on the sideline looking dumbfounded, looking dumbfounded on the sideline. Look, your responsibility is to not panic in critical situations. That's just a massive, massive foul by Matt Eberflus. But I'm not surprised. So, yeah, that's all I want to say here. Peace.